Hey, brother sewing and crafting family. I'm Angela Wolf.
And I'm Flaum.
And we are here to give you a crafting tutorial today and a lot of fun. So May, how are you? It's nice to see you again. It's been a little while.
It has been a while, quite a while. It's good to see you too.
So I like your shirt. Cute.
Oh, thank you.
So while we were getting ready today, well, not really today, but last week I've been going fishing. And so I practiced with ScanNCut using your tutorials from all the Facebook Lives. And look what I did.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, I put a little fishy. It was good luck too. We won our fishing tournament. So
oh, that's wonderful.
I'm going to have fish all over the boat for our next tournament. Vinyl.
Yeah. Banners and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes, so everybody's rolling in on, so we are on Brother Sew's Facebook page and Brother Crafting YouTube page, and you can save these to your page if you want to watch the tutorial later, or if you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. And the new thing is we meet so many people from all over the world. Make sure if you're not from the USA that you put your country on there. Well, you can do it for the USA too, but it's really cool to see all the countries that are on here hanging out with us. So, all right, May, what have you been up to?
So, well, I've been up to just kind of enjoying a little bit more outside time since the weather is nice, but now I'm starting to get the school emails and the information, you know, it changes. We're still in that pandemic life, and information changes all the time. And things are always kind of in limbo and kind of having to just kind of learn to hang with it. And one of the things actually the girls and I had a family meeting this morning about was getting things organized and getting things set so that we are in our best position to succeed and in our best position to get our craft projects made. You know, for example, my stylus has gone missing and I have 3 of them, so I know they're here. But I can't find them, and that's my own fault because I've been, you know, just having a good time and not pausing to organize. So today I thought I'd kind of show you some of the stuff that I'm doing and how the ScanNCut is actually helping me to clean out, clear up, organize some stuff, get some stuff ready for back to school, just a whole bunch of things, to be very honest. And I figured you guys could come along and help me finish off some projects.
I think this is great because I have to tell you, over the last few weeks, I had so many different projects going on that I ended up, my studio was just a hot mess after taping It So Easy that I actually took 2 days, cleaned the whole place, top to bottom, but I've got sections of things in bins that I definitely need to organize. So I'm looking so forward to seeing what you do on here because any organizing tips I think will be beneficial to all of us, no matter if we're going to school or not.
Exactly. And it's for me, you know, especially for me knowing that, you know, at least for the start that I need to plan on having 2 teenagers at home, and no, I don't get my silent, you know, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week silent time for mommy to work. That's not going to be how this at least starts off. So I need to get myself more organized. And like you, I had a whole bunch of projects going and it was great and everything, except I got a little too out of control and now I can't find anything and now everything's kind of messy. So how the ScanNCut comes into play is a couple of different things, and I'll show you the first one. The first one, so I've got luckily I have a drawer. So one of my organization things is really just to keep it super, I don't know about you, but keep it super simple and keep as much stuff as visible as I can and in a way that I'm actually going to put things back. You know, like I don't expect myself. So this is a standard mat, and then I realized some of the stuff we're going to do would actually be better with a low tack mat. So the low tack mat is just, it's not as sticky. So if we're going to work with a low tack mat for sometimes some papers, or like if all I have is a brand new standard mat, sticker vinyl, sometimes the backing can be a little bit, and you want to make sure this sticks like static cling there, but you want to make sure you get the papers off the back. But sometimes, sometimes sticker vinyl can be, the paper can be a little like it wants to stick to the mat. So a low tack mat can be really nice for that, to make sure that you're not getting yourself in a situation where, you know, your sticker paper is sticking to your mat. You don't want to do that. That's no fun. Then
you're cleaning and organizing. But just a quick question on your mats. How do you like to store your mats? Do you have a special
So,
place for them?
One of my things so if we're not in my studios. My studio has terrible Wi-Fi, but if we're in the studio, we're at the dining room table. But if we were in the studio, most of my storage is either just like very basic shelving or cubes kind of thing, like I see behind you. A lot of it's like that. And if it's not, then a lot of it is like workshop and garage industrial type storage. And I have a big roller cart with all these thin little drawers.
I've seen those.
And it is perfect because I can put I have all my mats in there, the new ones on the bottom, the used ones on the top, so that I'm always using the ones that are already open. And that's how I knew I don't have a low tack mat anymore, because I went in there and there were 2 fairly new regular mats, but no low tack mats to be found. So I knew I need to go down and dig and find the new one. But I like that a lot for things like this. And then one of the drawers has like things like doilies. One of them is my fabric scrap, like just little scraps of fabric that I don't want to throw away that I'll need for some collage project down the road. Those go in there. So basically I have just different things like that where it's real simple, but it's at the same time for me, when I'm done with this mat, it just goes, fling back in the drawer. It doesn't have to be fancy at all. And I think that's something I'm always really telling people is keep it simple. You don't need to make it super fancy. And, some things, so here's a great example. This right here. This is I have a rainbow, like just a pull out drawer container thing. Yeah. And it's rainbow. So this happens to be the green one. And each one has different stuff. And I tend to use it for my ScanNCut stuff. So this one on the front here says sticker vinyl. So when I went to get ready for today, I'm looking around and thinking, well, gee, I don't know. What colors should I pick? What should I use? Well, I should just pull the sticker vinyl drawer out. And I tossed other stuff on top, of course. But just pull. And so all my sticker vinyl, if it's a sheet, so like Brother sells these fun sample packs that are multicolor, have a bunch of different stuff. But anything like that. But also, if I was on like using a roll of sticker vinyl and now I only have this little piece, it just goes in the drawer.
Nice.
So by just being able to put it in the drawer, it means that I have like transfer material in here, and
Oh my God, that is such a good idea. I actually have transfer stuck to my desk, so I don't forget where it is. What a great way to put it back in a nice. I have some of those too. I put zippers in them, but I have one that's empty in a box that I'm like, what am I going to put in there? Perfect. May.
Yes, zipper. I have one. One of them's full of zippers. One of them's full of, actually, one of them is full of the P-Touch and all the P-Touch accessories. Because I just have everything for that. So simple, but at the same time, it's nice because I can just pull this whole drawer out when I want, when I want to make a big old mess. But when I'm done, like today, when I'm done, we'll just put all of the vinyl we didn't use back in here, and it'll be ready for next time. And I'll know where it is, because with the vinyl, I definitely recommend sorting by type, because if I want sticker vinyl, it's definitely very different than if, say, I was doing an iron-on vinyl, or I wanted glitter. I have glitter vinyl separate. I have them kind of separated by what they are so that I know I'm getting right to what I want.
Excellent.
Which I think is super,
if you're watching this, you said you were going to get rid of your rolling because you had nothing to put in it. Well, now you just got a great idea for all your crafting projects.
Oh, that's awesome. So one of those drawers, and it's woefully empty because I'm way behind. So this is one of the things we'll do today. One of the drawers is pre-cut things from the ScanNCut with scraps of material. With vinyl, I really don't get too crazy. I don't get too crazy with the scraps. I tend to use it up, so I don't worry about the vinyl. But paper stuff and fabric. But fabric, I don't tend to do my cutting shapes too much on the ScanNCut unless it's something where I'm already cutting. Like let's say I've got a piece of fabric and it's big enough to make, let's say, 2 stars, but I only need 1. I'll just go ahead and cut the second star, and then that goes into my pre-cut. If I'm looking for something to do applique, or I'm looking for, and I just want it kind of a basic shape or a very commonly used shape, I'll go there first and see if I've got something already done, which saves me time, but it also, gets it used up and keeps it from, my papers are famous for, they start making a stack. And then the stack grows its own stack. And then that stack, and it gets messy very quickly. So I thought I would show you what I do. If I have scraps, and I just went running around and grabbed the first couple I found. Whew, get that off of there. If I have scraps of paper, what I will do, depending on the size. So if it's a certain size, I might just cut it, to be like, say, the front of a card, or maybe a scrapbook journaling ball. If there's some useful size. And the same thing with fabric. If I have fabric and let's say it's 6 inches by 7 inches, I might just cut that 1 extra inch off and put it in with my 6 by 6 squares. So sometimes I'll do something like that to just clean it up. But if I've got fabric like this and I'm going, or paper, excuse me, although it could be fabric, but if I have material like this and I'm going, okay, well, this is just, what am I doing? What am I going to do? This is just a torn scrap left over. I'll go ahead and put it on my mat. And now we'll go to our ScanNCut and load my mat. And what I'll do is, yes, this will work. Yeah, this will work for any material you're cutting. But what I'll do is I'll go into pattern and I'll just pick something simple. Or maybe that's too simple. Let's see. How about, we have so many good basic shapes in here. I'm going to pick up kind of like a scalloped circle. And I'm not going to worry about the size right now. What I'm going to do is push this little button right here in the middle. And let me see if I bring you guys down, if it's, I want to make sure.
Oh, yeah. We can see it really good there. Perfect.
There we go. Okay, so we're going to scan it in. And the great thing about this is it'll show us right where the material is, which we want. We want to know where is, let's see, there.
Everybody's liking what you said. My stuff is like gremlins. They keep multiplying. Isn't that the
truth? It does. And so this is my personal solution. I stopped having a scrap paper bin, and this is what I do. All the scrap paper gets put through like this. So this will show me what size exactly I'm working with, but it also shows me that pattern. So if there's something I want to do or a shape I want to make, I can make sure that it's going to fit within what I've got right here. So I can make sure that, let's say I want to add a heart now. I can make sure it fits, but I can also see like that one flower right there. It's right there in the middle and big and pretty, and I want to make sure it's in there. Well, I can make sure it's in there because I can just move this around. And then what I'll do, actually, what I can do is just go to edit instead of having to go back in if I want more. So I want some, let's see, let's add the one first. May. Okay, so I just added a heart.
We can see, can you move your
oh my goodness, it's sliding around.
Yeah. Thanks.
What are you trying to do there? Camera's trying to have a life of its own.
Oh yeah, you know how that works. It's not even Friday.
Yeah, it wants to do its own thing. It's got its own opinion. I think it was trying to social distance itself from me. It's trying to move away. Okay. And then I can add more of those. So we don't have to go all the way back in every time. If you think, well, you know what, this is a cute little floral and I like little hearts, I use them all the time. And then we can keep adjusting sizes and we can keep filling it in, or it's a little hard for me to see, just a little bit. What I can do is go ahead and cut everybody out and see what we're left with. I can also get right to there so I can see, oh, okay, you know what? That's a lot of stuff fitting in there. That's good. And we'll cut. And I love that with the ScanNCut, it's this easy. Easy. We don't have to have a computer. We can just ask it to cut stuff for us and it'll just cut it right out.
And it's so quiet.
It really is. And one of the things you can do if you have similar size, like for example, here's another piece of paper. So I could, it's similar. I mean, it's got a little more, but it's similar. I could position this when this is done. I can position this right on top of where this other one was and cut it out without redoing all of my shapes and all of my pieces. If I want the same pieces, I can just keep cutting. I also, in my machine, I can store for example, I have one that's a full sheet of stars, and I have another one that's a full sheet of scalloped circles, because I use those a lot. But I have saved, so I can, there's all our, there's all our.
Those look awesome.
Pretty. Right, so now what I do is I just peel everybody off, and the little tiny bit that's left, I could go back in here and try to get like a tiny thing here and a tiny thing here if I want, but if I'm done, then this goes in my recycling bin, and then all I'm storing, instead of storing everything, I tend to put everybody in the pool, meaning I have a container and they all live in there, because I tend to go through them pretty quick, actually. When they're all pre-cut out and I'm looking for, like let's say I'm making a card and I have a stamp cut out and I just want like a pretty background, something like this will get pulled real quick. Or the same with the hearts. I'm looking to embellish something and I need, a heart about this big. Out they come. And so that means what ends up happening is those get used much quicker. And then when I feel like, well, I'm not sure I have time, to go and do the whole ScanNCut thing at this moment, or I don't know if I feel like it, well, I don't need to worry because I already did some of the work for myself and kind of removed some of the hassle too. And I'll show you guys another way that I do this. I started here. Another thing that I'll do is I do this with stamps as well. So this is a piece of paper that I have stamped. Bring it over here. So I have some little sewing machine stamped on here.
Are so cute. And one more thing, when you're doing this, the first thing that comes to my mind is, it's sometimes if you're working on one thing, if it's all stickers, it's just easy to get them all finished at the same time. If you're cutting fabric, just finish, because sometimes if you haven't done it for a while, like say a couple months, you go back and you're like, what mat was I supposed to do? And if you could just quickly do it like that, that's a great way to get everything organized.
It is. And so like when I was in mask mode, I made a whole bunch of masks, and some of them I finished, and then some of them, there is a little collection up there of pre-cut. There's a collection of, because I do the ones that stitch down the nose, stitch down the middle and kind of have shape to them.
Right.
There's somewhere the front is stitched or the back is, like the pieces are stitched. They just need to be put together. There's a lot, but it's like I kind of work in batches. So when I run out of finished masks to share with friends, then I'll just go back and say, okay, what's the next, just kind of batch through it. And I find with a lot of projects like that, it works really well. And it definitely works well with the ScanNCut to, as long as you're in here, as long as we're doing stuff, let's do more stuff. So for the stamps, we're going to go to direct cut because we are directly cutting this paper. That's how I always remove. Select a device to convert while we're doing the machine, because this machine is not hooked up to Wi-Fi, just because the studio doesn't have Wi-Fi. So it does. It's probably like, wow, there's Wi-Fi down here. Yes, and we can connect you to the computer, but that's okay. We don't. Which is really nice. Especially, I know I have, if we have electricity, but let's say there's a storm and the internet's out, I can still work because my ScanNCut will still get things done. Okay, so it's just asking us to say what we're working on, and we are going to pull this down. Really what this does, you can kind of see some dark lines around the edge of the paper. So really all we're doing is helping it focus itself. Here's where we're working ScanNCut. Okay, and then if we push preview, it's going to show us that it's going to cut out around all our cute little sewing machines. So it's really going around the outsides, and that's good. We want it to follow the lines. That's exactly what we want. Now this button right here, this becomes, if you want, like, how some stickers you can get and they have an outline around the outside, or some are cutting directly on the line. I like to have a little bit of a line. Whoop, I see I've got a little, do you see that little rectangle down there? That's okay. All that means is we have a little piece down there that wants to try to cut with us.
Oh, so I see that.
What I'm doing is just going up in size for ignore object until it goes away. Oh, come on. Don't make me go all the way back in there. Oh, okay, so it's bigger than, if that happens, you see how my sewing machines are about to disappear? Whoops. So what that means is what I need to do is go like this instead to pull so that that line is no longer in. So that that line is no longer a part of the cutting area. See how now it's gone?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So sometimes it just takes, for me, usually it's a small little spot and the ignore object size works well, but that was just a long, thin spot. So when you're all happy with it and everything is how you would like it, you just go into cut. And you would put half cut on if you were working on, like, let's say you guys were making stickers and you were on sticker paper, then you would put half cut on so it cuts the stamp but not the sticker paper backing. I'm just on regular cardstock because I wanted to make sure you guys saw how to do this, because this can be really handy if you're a scrapbooker and there's like really common stamps that you use or words or card maker. It can be really, really nice to just have these out and done and ready and be able to just go for it and craft.
It doesn't take very long either. And that's the nice part of the ScanNCut too, is that half cut. I was using that on the vinyl too, and then you don't cut through your mat.
Yes. So there's our paper. And I usually keep my stamps separate from my little paper spots because it's a different, obviously it's a different thing. So now I have my little sewing machines cut out, which is super fun. I was putting these and a little ribbon around when I was making masks and sending them off. I would put a little stamp and a little ribbon around it just to make it cute and fun. So this was just regular cardstock. If you wanted to make stickers, you can purchase sticker paper, and you would treat that just the way you would treat sticker vinyl, which is what we'll move on to next, because sticker vinyl is so much fun. I love. Oh my gosh,
I am so addicted to the sticker vinyl. Like I said, I'm going to be having like these little fish all over the place.
And the sticker vinyl, I think it's a lot of fun for a couple reasons. I think it's a lot of fun because, first of all, it's super easy to work with. So it's really super easy to work with. It cuts really nicely. It's, you can cut super, super fine detail out of it. I mean, it's a wonderful product to work with. So I like sticker vinyl for that reason. But then you get into, oh my goodness, all the creative possibilities that we can get into with creating our own stickers. So this is sticker vinyl. And when it's sticker vinyl, we want the backing sheet to be down because we want to cut the sticker vinyl. And I only mention that because with the heat transfer vinyl, it's the same, except you're looking at the upside down. You're looking at the back side. You're not looking at the front, which can get a little confusing sometimes. If I'm not having a very good brain day, we're probably not going to we're not getting into heat transfer vinyl if my brain is misfiring, because you have to reverse things. So if you want something to be pointed that way and you're doing sticker vinyl, go ahead, have it point that way. If you're doing heat transfer vinyl, you have to make it point that way so that when you cut it out, it reverses that to the other way.
You definitely need to be on your A game that day.
Yeah, but sticker vinyl is just straightforward, like you're cutting out, just like we were cutting out paper, just a couple slight differences. So let's go into pattern. One of the things I love to do is, so this is a photo box, just for pictures to scrapbook, and I've got my little P-Touch label on here. I like to do that because this is my going to scrapbook it list or container. So I can just peel it off when I'm done and put whatever is next. What tends to happen is most of these pictures will get scrapbooked, and then the few that don't will get put into permanent storage, and whatever the vacation, there won't be very many vacations, will there? So whatever the occasion is that I'm then scrapbooking to go in here next, that'll get added.
Backyard picnic pictures.
Yes, the backyard picnic pictures, the hike the local hike pictures, the eating takeout at home pictures, yes, those pictures, but whatever it is, but that I love that about the P-Touch with the tape that I can just peel it off. So it is organizing me and telling me what's here without me having to dig back through, but at the same time it's temporary. So I like that a lot about the tapes because it just lets me do both. All right, so we're gonna do, let's see. I'm kind of thinking we'll do a flower. So we'll do this guy and we'll shrink it down a bit. So we'll do some fun layering on here, but we'll just do it piece by piece, which is one way that I sometimes do this. And then we need to scan because we need to see where this vinyl is because we're not working with a whole piece, we're working with a scrap.
It's so quiet.
It is really quiet. I love that.
I love that purple color on that vinyl pack from Brother. The Brother
I do
Sews vinyl pack.
too. It's a really nice purple. Okay, so we just need to move it so that it's on our vinyl someplace. And we can, I mean, depending on what you want to do. If you wanted to make vinyl stickers and you could do it like I did for my pattern paper, you could fill this all up. I just don't because as you can see, we can very easily just keep using scraps of vinyl on the ScanNCut. So, and I'm going to turn half cut on, which means it's going to cut the sticker vinyl, not the backing. And then it does its auto, there it goes doing its auto blade thing. So it detects how deep the material is. And then it either, presses harder or backs off depending on what we're trying to cut here.
As well as cutting it, there was just 2 questions here. Mary Lou wanted to know, can you use any sticker vinyl for outside car window stickers? Have you ever done anything for windows outside?
So you can, but like for example, this is just regular craft vinyl. It's not going to stick for more than, I don't know, a day, a week, the first time you wash the car. So you need to find a vinyl that is permanent, that is labeled as permanent for outdoor use so that you can stick it on that car window and it's going to stay. So yes, they make it. You just have to make sure that what you're purchasing is going to hold up.
Yeah. That's a great tip there too, because even I put our boat name on our cooler for fishing tournaments, and I did not do that the first time, and so it all kept starting to peel off. My husband's out there with a hair dryer trying to get that thing to stick. I'm like, I must have screwed this up. This is years ago.
Oh yeah, it's probably just it's just not made for it. And you know what? I did the same thing. So for some of we do horseback riding and some of our supplies, I thought, oh, so I'm just peeling this off. I'm not doing anything fancy with this. We'll do something fancy with it in a minute. But if you've got a big sticker like this, where it's just a big sticker and it's, it's going to go on something like this, that's going to be so super easy, I'll be honest, I tend to just grab it and stick it down. Now, the odds of us doing something this simple, it's very slim. It's very rare that we actually do that. And I'll show you what I mean, because we'll do it the fancy way next. But if you've got something super simple that's an easy design to transfer, I say go for it. Anyhow, no, I did, what was I? Oh, so some of our supplies, I put actually heat transfer vinyl, but it was too delicate for the material combined with being thrown in and out of vehicles, being thrown in the dirt. I mean, it gets thrown all around. So it all started shredding off after a couple of months. And I realized I'm like, okay, so I either need like a lot tougher vinyl or I just need to suck it up and do like heavy duty applique here because this isn't it can't hold up. So that is definitely important to remember or at least pay attention to. What is your material? Is your material going to work? Can it do the job you're asking it to do is definitely an important question. Okay, so let's pick another pattern. This time we're going to pick a word. I love these I've got a little dust on here. These Word files are so much fun.
Oh, I love some of these built-in Word files. They're so cool.
They are so pretty. So I think, Bon Voyage. I mean, there's so many of them. I love to, sometimes I just flip through here and get inspired because there's so many fun ones. Oh, there's a fun one. Okay, so that one says destination. And if you're wondering how I know to shrink this, it's because I know that this is a 4x6 photo holder. So it's just over 4 inches and just over 6 inches. So I already know what my maximum size is. And then we're going to go ahead and scan again because, again, I'm working with a partial sheet. And so we want to make sure vinyl is just expensive enough that you definitely want to make sure. Plus, your time is valuable. You don't want to waste your time because you didn't just scan the mat. And being the ScanNCut, one of its standout features there, having that, so that is an option for us. Okay, so then once we've got it, we're just repeating where we're going to cut. But this time we will, let's see, we will do okay, and the half cut's already on. Everything looks good. We'll let it cut. We will use the transfer material this time. Because when we get into these more...
I was working on a few projects recently, May, and like I said, I have these things stuck all over the place because they were all little pieces I was putting on notebooks and stuff, and I kept using it over and over and over, and I thought, I'm just going to leave them on my desk because I'm just going to keep scanning, cutting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I get in a zone. Like when we're done today, whatever I don't get to, I'll go grab, round up, and cut. And get it done because we've got everything out. We're in the zone for it. It's kind of like sometimes my sewing backs up. Oh, the lever.
Yeah, the lever on the side of the ScanNCut. Somebody must have one and they haven't figured out how to use it yet.
Okay, so this is cut out. We'll circle back to this because we'll do the lever. So the lever over here.
Oh yeah, there she is.
So down is normal, okay? The reason you would put this up is if you are scanning and you have a thicker material that you're wanting to put through, this just lifts and lowers the scanner.
Perfect.
So I usually just keep it, down is the default. And when I scan stuff, you'll see it tell me, excuse me, your scanner is in the up position. Shouldn't it be in the down position? And I always say no and scan, simply because if it's down and I'm trying to do something thicker, and then it's going to say, I can't because the lever is down. So
you got to love it that the machine tells you what to do.
It does tell me, and I ignore it usually. So it's just about the scan. It's raising and lowering the scanner. And my understanding, at least, I could be wrong, I hope I'm not, my understanding at least is that that's about getting a better quality scan on like thin materials that you want to make sure you're really getting a high quality scan. I have not had problems with it just letting it stay up. But that's just how I do. You keep yours up or down, or?
I always tend to have it down, but I also notice if I'm playing with different things or I wasn't paying attention when the machine tells me. I love when the machine tells me because I am not a ScanNCut guru like you are. I just like to go use it, and I don't, so as much help as the machine gives me, I'm happy. If it tells me to lift it, I lift it. If it tells me to put it down,
it'll tell you it's time to lift the lever. This won't work. So I hope I'm right. I don't think you can hurt anything.
I haven't, and trust me,
it is not my understanding. I mean, this poor machine, there was a time I was rushing around and doing all kinds of projects, and I have it running a whole bunch of like sheetfuls of stars for a project, and I'm running all around, and I tripped on the cord, and the machine went flying across the room, slammed into the wall, fell to the ground, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've just destroyed this machine. I just destroyed this machine, and I was so sure of it. And it was like the third week after it got here, so they weren't even in stores yet. It was still so brand new. And no, there was not a scratch, there was not a ding. Not that I recommend doing that, but this it's a party machine. And it really does tell you a lot of things. So Nikki's saying the lever definitely won't hurt anything. I just put that disclaimer in there because I'm pretty sure based on my experience so far, I don't think you're going to hurt anything either way. But it tells you lift it or it tells you lower it. Lower is supposed to be the default. I just put a lot of like thick felt and plastics and things through mine. So it tells me to lift it more than it tells me to lower it. So I just leave it up.
Nice.
Okay, so you're going to weed, but look how easy that is. That's not even hard. It just peels off, and then you'll want to wad this up so that it sticks to itself and not to your foot.
Or your pants. That's usually where I
or you're behind, and then you go out and people ask you, why do you have strange things on the back of your pants? Because you're a doctor. And then I just picked out the middle.
Oh, that looks great.
Okay, and then I'm just going to take a look because whenever I have a scrap, I always take a look at that first to see, can I make the scrap that I have work? Let me just move this out of my way a little more. There we go. I always look at that first because if the scrap that I have in progress works, then it's just less work. It's less things to go and do. And then I will just set this down. Oh, it's like exactly the size. Look at that. Oh, okay. So I'm going to put this sideways because it fits better. There's no rule that says you have to do this, straight up and down. You can do it whatever direction you need to do it in. Okay. And then I'm just rubbing. You're just rubbing this to make it transfer. It's called transfer material, and that really literally is what it does, is it gets your sticker picked up. Okay. And the great thing about this is if we aren't ready to use this, we could just leave this like so.
That's awesome.
And walk away. But when we're ready to use it, what's really nice is you can see where you're going with it. So I can sit here and move it around. You guys can even see there. I'm looking at the camera back at myself and able to see it. It's very easy. So you can see where it is and how it's going to look and get a really good feel for where you want this to be on your project. And then once you are sure, and I just put destination. So that means this one will be I guess I'll use this as a travel theme, 2 scrapbook travel things. And I'm using this for scrapbook stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
And so easy. It's like your fish on your phone. It's so easy to do these vinyl stickers.
Oh
and
my
they
gosh,
always turn out so cute. So I can do this, but this is a scrapbook thing, but we don't have to make it scrapbook. So we could, and that's actually why this big guy is out here. Well, right now he had my P-Touch in it because I was labeling things. But so this is like a big container, and I want to make this into I want to make this into like a projects in progress. I found this at the store, and it's like 13 inches this way, which is really hard to find. Usually things are like 11 inches, so they're just too short. So this is 13 inches this way, so I can put projects in here and have them stacked up, all nice and organized. My inbox, because sometimes, especially lately, there's incoming projects that come in or things that there's not always work related to. Like right now, I know my eldest daughter just reminded me I owe her a pillowcase. I think I owe somebody a mending project. I owe fixing a photo frame. Like there's always stuff that comes in. So if I can have this is mom's inbox. If you have a request, write it down and put it in or whatever. And then I have my project inbox. So
that's kind of a great idea. I need a project inbox before I go to sleep at night because I wake up in the middle of the night thinking I forgot to do this. I need a good night, go to bed inbox. So in the morning I can take that box. That is a great idea, May. Great idea.
Wouldn't that be nice? I know. I wish I would like to have someone just sit next to my bed at night. So when I wake up, I can just say all the ideas I remember or the things I remember that I need to do tomorrow. Or I guess I need a voice recorder or something. Because it happens. It's always in the middle of the night. Always.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, I do it all the time. So with this, it's bright green, but I think it'd be fun with some purples.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's my vinyl is trying to escape. So I think it'd be fun with some purple. So we can do, and I think we still have some time, so we can start it. So something like this, I just make sure I understand the dimensions. Mm-hmm. I make sure I know what my maximum width is. And if you don't have a ruler handy, hold it up to your ScanNCut. Okay, so 6 inches is our tallest. And at the shortest, it's 4 inches. You can hold it up to your ScanNCut mat and count squares. Because every square is an inch.
No brainer.
I'm always doing stuff like that because I'm going, oh, shoot, where's my ruler? Where did I? It's okay. Actually, there's my ruler, but that's okay because we can just count squares. I do that all the time, especially when I'm here at the machine. We know we're going to make something, but we're not sure exactly what we're going to make. So what I think we'll do to start with is and I like to do this, projects like this a lot of times, I'll make one part, like probably the front. I'll have it just say inbox or really practical. You know, when I make my annual, I make a container like this annually for taxes, although it's one of those ones that has like an elastic on it and it closes and then it gets kept for 7 years or whatever the heck it is. But it says on the one side, it'll just say, you know, this is 2020 taxes. And on the other side, it'll have all this decorative fun vinyl. So that's what I'll do here is I'll just put inbox. We'll make the inbox for here. And that's about 4 by 4. So
Aileen says the same thing. I never thought about using that for measuring. And you know what's going to happen now? Because I'm always losing my measuring tape. I'm going to be on my shows when I'm teaching garment. I'll be like, where's my measuring tape? And everyone on all the whip pack's going to say, go grab your ScanNCut mat.
You know what? I use that mat all the time. All the time I use that mat for measuring because it's right there. It's always right here when I'm crafting. You can also use your transfer material.
Oh, yes.
You can also hold up your transfer material and know approximately how many squares is how many inches, which, I mean, it's super handy. Now, one of my favorite things to do with the ScanNCut, we don't have one in there right now, but I've got my USB drive here. There is a converter tool that you can get that'll take a font, right? A font that you like, and it will convert it to a ScanNCut cut file, which is really super handy. And I think I have one on here that I can show you. It's just not one that we'll use for this. Let's find out. Oh, so it's on here on USB. And then I have lots and lots and lots of files. So many files. Okay, here's one. This one says awesome. Okay, so that's a font that just got transferred into, it just got turned into a cut file, and it's free. And it's super easy, so I can then just take this, cut whatever I'm cutting out of it, and go.
That's
which
cool.
I really am. I'm a big fan of that because there's a lot of times when I want to do it that way. If you don't want to do it that way, you could print out whatever it is that you want, then scan it in, and then create a text file that way. But what we're going to do, we're just going to go into pattern because there are built-in fonts as well. So we don't always have to be, we can just do it this way. And I'm going to put a space in here. So it's just going to do that. And then we can resize it. And you could keep adding as much as you wanted, but we can then size it. So right now it's 6 inches, and that's fine. I actually want it a little bit bigger. Let's see, that'll work. Okay. And then I want it closer to the edge because I've got a full sheet of vinyl here. So we'll cut that out. And then I'll show you how we put it onto the front of this one. And this idea, we can do a whole bunch of stuff. So like this is a notebook, right, that I got. So I'm going to put English or science or whatever My daughter decides this notebook is going to be used for whichever subject. I can put the subject on the front in vinyl, or on the planner. I can put their names or even their signatures, or my signature if it's for me. I can put sticker vinyl. I mean, you guys, you're going to get upset. You're going to get as obsessed as we are with sticker vinyl, because there's so many practical uses.
Yes.
And to me, it's making my world a little more custom.
Recently, I marked all of, well, I kind of went on like we did go on a little fishing trip, and I marked all the mugs with everybody's names, so nobody would take, mixed glasses. Really, my husband and one other person, so it's not like we're going to mix glasses, but they all have fishing glasses. So I put our names on them, the boat name, and then I mean, it's so much fun. Once you get going, then you're like, what else could I, it's kind of like embroidery. What else could I embroider?
It's a lot like that. And then too, in addition to being easy and fun, it brings that custom prettiness to your world. Yes, I always do half cut on sticker vinyl or any vinyl. You're always going to do half cut. All right. So then we're just going to peel off or weed, and you'll notice I cut this out to reduce waste. I cut it out so that the leftover material, that there's, in other words, so there's very little of waste, and most of the leftover can be reused at a future time. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then here, I'm going to move my ScanNCut out of the way so you guys can see this from above. Different here. All right, come here, camera. There we go.
Moving it around. Oh, there, we can see it, right? I'll bring that up solo. There you go.
But if we're going to be at home so much, we might as well have it super, super customized, right? It's super fun. And I find it helps with my attitude, too, when I'm doing stuff. If it's cute and it's fun, I'm more likely to want to do it. Okay, so I can't quite do that underneath the camera, but I'll get it positioned and then I'll show you.
Okay. Hey, Lorraine says
that might be easier. So it's just too tall. So
that looks good.
And then you're just the same thing, no matter what the surface is, you're just making sure to really press it on there. Ta-da!
Let me bring you up closer here. There you go.
Okay, and then I'll just do the other one.
Oh, yeah.
And really, with the material that's smooth like plastic, it goes really quickly and easily. You'll just the only thing you'll want to be aware of is if you're trying to get this to work on something like, let's say it's a really textured plastic, that might be kind of hard to do if it's something that's not really going to work. Is sticker vinyl, so I'm calling it sticker vinyl, it's just adhesive. I'm going to say probably if sticker vinyl is the same as removable adhesive vinyl, yes and no. Sticker just refers to that this is vinyl that you can turn into stickers. I'm just using it as a general overall umbrella. If you were going to have, some of it will say this is removable. This particular stuff says it is craft vinyl. Some of it will say that it is permanent and good for outdoor use. So you're just going to want to take a look at whatever vinyl you're looking at purchasing and what exactly it says it is. So
let me bring you up. That looks great.
We have our inbox. And you can do as much or as little as you want. And I love that with the vinyls, you can keep layering. So I could add like little things on here. I could even come in if I wanted to, like with a pen, if I wanted to doodle on top of it or around it. It just depends on what I feel like doing. I do find that the vinyl, this particular vinyl from Brother, it does stay really, really well on my projects that I'm doing in the house. But if I ever really, really, really want to get it removed and do something different, I can get like a little craft pick and sit and get the vinyl to come off if I want it to. So it's not, I think it would depend on the surface too, but like on this, I would anticipate if I ever change my mind, or this as well.
Yeah.
So this is transfer material. This comes in a sheet available for purchase. It's from Brother, but you can find it pretty easily online if you search ScanNCut transfer material. It popped. I know I ran all the way out and I was like, oh, no, no, no. So I bought a bunch of rolls because I couldn't be without it. I needed it immediately.
Yeah, I have never realized until I have them stuck everywhere, because I'm like, I'm going to keep reusing it until it dies.
Yes. Oh, and yeah, and this we can keep on going and going and going. And if we want to get really fancy, so we could design, like I could put on a piece of paper, I could cut a piece of paper or trace a piece of paper this size and then do like something super intricate and then cut it out and then stick the sticker on. I mean, we can get as wild as we want, but I try to really preserve this because it will keep going and going as long as you take care of it.
Right. May, this was so much fun. I have to tell you, my husband mentioned your name since I haven't seen you for a little while. He said the one thing he remembered, he happened to be sitting over here during one of our shows, and we were talking about one thing that we'll do in a couple weeks or so, but with the rhinestone kit. And you said, I'm thinking of the vinyl, where when I did the vinyl, I had vinyl everywhere, stuck all over, because it was quick to just stick all over my pants and my shirt, and then it did take off my threads. But you said something, and I don't know if you remember this, but the little black dots from when you do the ScanNCut with the rhinestone kit, I'm still picking up black dots.
So I have not done, keep meaning to. I have on ScanNCut Canvas, there's a free little flamingo project right now. And it's super cute, and it has the rhinestones too. And I intend to make it out of felt and make like a little charm. Video coming as soon as I get to it, guys, I swear. But I have my rhinestone stuff set out for that. Well, it needs to go in here so it gets done, but it's sitting there. And the other day I found a couple little black dots on the corner of the table, and I have not done rhinestones since the day we did it on this show. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been like 2 months and it's still here. And I found another one.
Oh, promise that you'll do that live. We would love to see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a fun one. I think it's going to be a fun one. I need to do it. I need to try it and make sure that one of the things I really love to do is take those free files on Canvas Workspace and then make it my own, change it up, or only use a part of it, or do something a little differently. I think that's so much fun.
That's a good idea. Well, everybody's saying thank you, thank you. Great tips, great ideas. We're all going to go organize our stash. Where is the flamingo? Janet, it's on, what's the name of the website for ScanNCut?
Canvas Workspace. So if you type in if you just type in onto a search engine, ScanNCut Canvas Workspace, it'll pop up that site. Then they have, every month they put in new ones.
Lorraine, what tool do you want to know about on the ScanNCut? Can you use the tool? What tool? Bye, Esther. Great to see you.
I'm glad we're back. We've got a lot of crafting to do.
Yes, we do. So much fun. So you can always message May. You can find both of us. I have all of our websites down below. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the above. And May, that was really fun. It's so great to see you again. And it's nice and summery.
It is. And I'm excited I have a whole bunch of ideas for our future lives, as well as, like you, I'm posting videos every week and different creative things on my social media and everything. So I've always got crafty projects like you do. I know I always check in to see what's Angela making this week. What are we making?
Ditto for you. Your Instagram is always so inspiring. So everyone, thank you for joining us today. May, it's great to see you again. And don't forget that I try to post the schedule on one of my pages. you can go to angelawolf.com, but Brother Sews actually puts the events right on the Facebook page, so you can't miss it. So you'll know who's coming on, what day, what time. We're down to just a couple days a week now because we're not stuck in COVID, but it sure was fun hanging out with everyone for 2 months every single day. But now it's just 2 days a week or 3, you never know. So May, great to see you, everyone. Great to see you, and we'll look forward to checking back with you guys in a few weeks.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
And then for those of you that are looking for another show this week, tomorrow at 1:30 is Behind the Scenes. And Thursday is 4 o'clock with Laura Pfeiffer, and we are talking about restyling, refashion, some more fun stuff, May.
Fun.
All right. Bye, everyone.